Hi everybody, welcome to another tutorial on MM-1 MuteMaster. In this video I would like to talk to you about different pattern sources that you can use. So first of all, let's create three audio channels. Let's select a file player for each one of them, like so. And then let's select a file for each of the players. In this case, I'm going to use free my composition, but you can use whatever you like. For example, another waveform or a song. Like so. Here we go, and we choose a third one. Okay, perfect. Now let's load MuteMaster in as a UV3 effect, like so. Scroll down, type MM for MuteMaster. Here we go. Let's load the first instance. Now the second one, and of course the third one. Okay, let's go through each one of them to ensure that each one has the selected the correct channel. So the third one is third channel 3. Let's also add some channel fading, so the transition is smooth. Second one will have channel 2, yes, some fading as well. And channel 1, of course, some fading as well. Right, let's maximize the window. Double click on the header. Let's choose the first pattern, and on the first pattern we enable channel 1. On the second pattern we enable channel 2, and on the third pattern we enable channel 3. And we set the last pattern as number 3. Okay, so in the previous tutorial I showed you how you can drive pattern changes using the sequencer, which you have the selection here, or using the divisions, which you can trigger from this panel as well in terms of additional settings, i.e. what is the trigger source and the division themselves. In this video I'm going to talk about manual triggering, probability, which you can set through this panel, and also key. So let's start with the manual one. Well, the manual one is actually quite simple. You can move them yourself as an active pattern. So let's try. Okay, as you can see, very simple. You move up and down the active pattern, and you move from one pattern to the other, and therefore from one song to the other. Now let's go to key. And for this demonstration, for this source, I'm going to activate the keyboard in AUM. Let's double click to minimize the window of MuteMaster, and let's double click again on the MuteMaster to maximize it according to the window to the keyboard that we have now open. So I set it now to key, and what I'm going to do, observe here when I click on the key and on the keyboard, and every time I click it will change between the different active patterns. So back to the beginning and play. Again, very straightforward. Now, for the third one, a little bit probably more challenging, but not difficult at all. So, probability. When you set the probability, you need to actually start to have a look at the chance source and also the probability dial. So, at the moment, the chance source is set to BPM, so it will receive triggers from the host, in this case AUM, and there is roughly 50% of probability that the change will happen to the next one. So let's click play, and what will happen is sometimes it will change, sometimes it won't change, depending on the bips coming in and the probability, which is 50-50. And of course you can lower the probability and it will make less changes. As well, you can increase the probability and it will make more rapid changes. course, you double click on the die, it'll go back to the initial position. Now, you can change the source in terms of the chance. So for example, you can say, all right, okay, I want to go to sequencer. In that case, the source for the chance will be a sequencer, and you have to set up an active step here and an active trigger for the sequencer itself as well. So if I set, for example, number 5, as the sequencer is moving, when it will hit the trigger number 5, if there will be a 50% probability of a change to happen. So let's go back and click and try. As you can see, in the last round, the change didn't happen. There was a 50-50 probability. Again, if you decrease the probability as the sequencer moves to trigger number 5, there will be less of a chance or probability for the change to happen. So in that case, for example, it changed. So you can apply this rule now to division. Of course, instead of taking the sequencer as in terms of source, it will take the division which is set here. And again, this will become more complicated, of course, because you have number of division, which will be the number of times that it needs to receive a triggers from the divide trigger sounds before it generates an event, which will go through then the chance source and then evaluate it against the probability, which of course will be random. And of course, you can set the divides to actually go through the probability itself, which makes it recursive, or a key as well. So the other example I'm going to show you is, for example, if you set it to key in terms of chance source, that means that I have to press keys on the keyboards, and again, the more I press, the more I have a chance or a probability to actually the change to happen. So 3 or 4 clicks before actually the change happened. Okay, so I hope you found the tutorial useful. Now you know how to use different pattern sources and how to program change your probability and set the chance sources as well. So you can really create your unique effects in this way using MuteMaster. Thank you. As always, see you next time. Bye.